Research for medical students is one of the most common requirements in MD and DO schools. There's no denying that applicants with strong research backgrounds have a competitive edge. But how exactly does research make someone a better healthcare provider? And how can students start gaining these invaluable skills? In this video, I'll explain why having research experience will improve your chances of getting accepted, and how you can gain research experience early on in your career by finding the right pre-med opportunities. Hi, I'm Natalie Stoberman, and I'm an admissions associate here at BeMo. Before we get started, subscribe on whatever social media channel that you're watching this on so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you'd like us to help you get into medical school, visit bemomedschool.com to schedule your free initial consultation. FYI, check out the timestamps in the description of this video so you can navigate to the specific sections that you're interested in. Here's what we're going to cover. How can research help you get into medical school? And how to get research experience before medical school. And we're giving away $50 Amazon gift cards every week to the best comments and questions. So comment below for your chance to win. And we also have some important advice on how to find the best research experience for you. And I'll talk about that throughout the video, so make sure you watch the whole thing so you don't miss it. So let's get started. So how can research help you get into medical school? If you're asking this question as an aspiring med student, I have a few reasons why you should consider pursuing quality research opportunities. Firstly, nearly every student applying to medical school has clinical experience to add to their application, but not all of them have quality research experience. That means that there's another area for you to potentially stand out. Research is a great way to boost your medical school application, because not only does it show your dedication to the development of the medical field, it also demonstrates your curiosity, high levels of responsibility, and ability to work in a team. And these are all qualities that are extremely valuable in a potential medical student. Secondly, some of the most prestigious medical schools in the US and Canada are research focused, such as the Ivy League medical schools. So normally, schools that are research-based have this incorporated in their mission statement and core values. So to be considered competitive at these institutions, you need to demonstrate your desire and motivation for research. There are so many different ways to gain research for medical students. You could work as a lab assistant or technician in a clinical setting, research facility, or even in the field. As important as it is to have research for medical schools, I do have a word of caution for this path in medicine. Don't simply apply to research-focused medical schools if you have no interest in research, even if the schools are considered prestigious. As always, you need to tailor your experiences to your interests and apply to medical schools that are in line with your short and long-term goals. Another reason to get involved in research is the opportunities that open up before you. For example, instead of applying to MD or DO programs only, you can expand your application to MD-PhD programs, which make up some of the most prestigious medical programs out there. If you want to apply to joint MD-PhD programs, you absolutely need to add research experience to your box of requirements. These programs are specifically designed for students with a passion for medicine, but also a strong passion for research. Graduates from these programs will be trained as physician scientists. They'll be ready to tackle the mechanisms behind disease, conduct independent or joint research, and strive towards making discoveries in the field of medicine. And whether you apply to joint programs or just an MD or DO, in reviewing your research experience, the ADCOMs will be looking at your level of participation, your reasoning as to the importance of research, and what lessons you learned from the experience. So try to gain hands-on experience by conducting research through testing hypotheses, analyzing results, or contributing to reports or scientific papers. Keep in mind that if you do apply to the dual MD-PhD degree as opposed to an MD program, you'll have to complete additional essays, and the significant research experience essay and the MD-PhD essay. These essays are solely designed to learn about your extensive research experiences, so be sure to demonstrate your commitment to research through a variety of meaningful experiences. Regardless of whether or not you apply to joint MD/PhD programs, meaningful research is a valuable experience to include in your med applications. Ensure that you understand the ins and outs of any research that you participate in. And regardless of your level of contribution, if you're invited to an interview, the interviewers will expect you to have a strong grasp on the research, its significance, and major findings. Here's a commonly asked question that we get at BeMo. How do you get research experience before medical school? Part of the reason medical education in North America is so strong is because physicians are trained to go beyond the white coat and be researchers as well. The hope is that future generations of physicians not only prescribe treatments, but also help to find better ones. After all, medicine is an ever-changing field, and a good medical doctor is also a scientist and a researcher. In fact, by the time medical students graduate, some of what they've learned during their training may have already been outdated. Therefore, as a future medical doctor, you must learn how to keep up with the new information so that you can provide the most scientifically sound diagnoses and treatments for your patients. Engaging in research at this stage demonstrates one of the AAMC's core competencies for entering medical students, defined as scientific inquiry. So you're essentially telling the admissions committees that you know how to search for and decipher scientific literature, as well as conduct scientific experiments to improve patient care. So in the AAMC's words, a good doctor with an excellent sense of scientific inquiry applies knowledge of the scientific process to integrate and synthesize information, solve problems and formulate research questions and hypotheses, is confident in the language of the sciences and uses it to participate in the discourse of science and explain how scientific knowledge is discovered and validated. So back to the original question, how can you secure a research position as an undergrad? Here are 9 steps to get you closer to that goal. The first step is to find out what you're interested in. You may not know what that looks like yet, but you need to ask yourself, what excites you? Think back to your classes. What made your heart beat a little faster? Was it learning about the brain? Consider a neuroscience lab. Understanding the immune system? Consider working with vaccine development. Tip number 2, you need to remember that research doesn't need to be medical. Any research is okay, as long as you demonstrate intellectual curiosity and the ability to apply the scientific method. If you love psychology, sociology, or even astronomy, feel free to explore a project in those areas. Tip number 3, figure out where you want to do your research. Do you want to take on a project in your undergrad campus during the semester? Or do you want to go back home for the summer and work at the local university? Or you can set your sights even further away and do research abroad in Europe or Central America. Tip number 4, once you've decided on a field of research, look online at the list of professors conducting this research in your institution of choice. Write down their names and emails and narrow it down to about 15 to 20 professors. Which leads to my next point, contact them. Write them a brief, polite, and reasonably formal email indicating your interest in their research. And go ahead and ask them if you can chat just to hear a bit more because you have some questions about what they're doing with their research. Just don't get discouraged if you don't get as many replies as you had hoped. Tip number 6, before actually speaking to those who respond to you, read about their work. Skim their published articles by looking them up on PubMed and come up with some genuine questions about their research. Tip 7, once you speak to them, and if you feel that you and the researcher have bonded in some way, let them know that you're really interested to learn more by working with them. Maybe they'll be interested in being your mentor. Tip number 8 is crucial. Feel free to follow up with those who don't respond to your email within 5 to 7 days. And if they still don't respond, then it's time to move on because you want to work with people who value you. And finally, if you are successful in involving yourself in research, try to set a goal. Even simple results or even methods and anticipated results can be presented in a poster at your university symposium. Remember that any presentation or publication shows that your time doing research was productive and worthwhile. As you proceed through this process, just know that every step on your medical journey starts with knowing yourself and what you want to accomplish. And when you know that you want or don't want to have a scientific or clinical approach to medicine, the sooner you start taking on those responsibilities, the sooner you can fully step into the career of your dreams. That's our advice on finding pre-med research opportunities. Check out our blog to read more about med school requirements and how to find research positions. I've included the links in the description of this video for easy access. And if you'd like us to help you get into medical school, visit BeMoMedSchool.com to schedule your free initial consultation. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And if you have any questions about research for medical students that I didn't cover, let me know in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And don't forget that we're giving away $50 Amazon gift cards every week to the best comments and questions. So comment below for your chance to win. Thanks for watching and see you next time.